Still in the drought. The lake has really dried up a lot. A lot of these boulders down there were usually underwater, and you could see these little pilings here that were once part of a small railroad line to bring up the phosphorus from the mine up to another area and then loading it to a larger train. So usually most of those have always been underwater. But yeah, you can even see the bottom of the lake. So it's really bad. It's our resident Canadian goose who doesn't want to head back up north, wants to stay in the Florida warmth. Look at these big old boulders. I haven't been down to the bottom part of the lake in a long time. But I wanted to see how bad the drought level was from a more level area than the one where I'm looking down at it. Yeah, usually there's water just right below here, but it's just not happening. Alright, I'm going to go around to the other end over there, see how it looks. Used to never hear traffic here, but along the road out there, they tore down a woodland area for a little shopping center. And now you always have the noise. But you can see just how much exposed land there is right now because of the drought. Well, here's a big old boulder. You don't see really huge boulders or a lot of rocks in Florida, to be honest with you. There used to be a big gator in here, but I think a trapper took it out. Some people were afraid of it. That's kind of a cool rock right there. There's some fish jumping out there. And you can see some of the old infrastructure when it was a mine. Sure is pretty though. I just hope we get that rain and fill it up, and when we get a lot of the rain, the water's much more clearer than it is now. You can see some of the machinery from back in the days when this lake was a phosphate mine, until they dug too deep and they hit the aquifer, and then it filled up with water. But it's always neat to find little historical things like this when you're out walking in the woods. Remind us about the history of Florida. And phosphate was a big business. And I think over here is, I see these a lot. These steel cables, there's a lot of them all scattered around here. You know, a lot of busy activity going on during the phosphate boom in the 1890s until like right before the Great Depression.